Hi, everybody. Welcome to Giant TV. This is Paul Hitchcock. I'm the founder and president of Giant Jacks Media, where we are helping others across the country to grow and nurture their businesses. And this channel is where I have dynamic people doing really killer things with their business. And certainly Michael Durante is one of them. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you and I have gotten to know each other
Hmm.
a bit here, and I'm fascinated by your business. And I want to get into this because I think people are going to walk away with some great nuggets about what you're doing, your success. So, first of all, tell me a little bit about your business, and then I want to ask you how you got into it. But what are you focused on?
I appreciate it. So my business name is Thai National. So what we do is we are a national installer of technology. We handle large multi-location customers across country, whether they be enterprise-based or franchise-based, where we work with the franchisor and then into the individual franchisee. Uh, we do everything from that you would consider an IT department to do: computers, phone systems, background music, video surveillance, uh, paging, uh, internet circuits, anything that you can say, hey, call the IT department. That's what we do. So we
How,
not only provide it,
well, I
but we
was going to ask you
install it.
how many locations. I just
Oh,
want to
well,
clarify that.
some of my customers are as small as 35 to 40. Others are well over 1,000, 1,500. So
Got it.
we have a extensive network of technicians out in the field. So those are subcontracting companies that we use. We built relationships with. So we're about 2,000 subcontracting companies. And then on top of that, through our partnerships, we have access to about 15,000 individual technicians that do work directly for us. What what that allows us to do is have some good regional resources for larger installs, as
Yeah.
well as smaller resources for quick service work, things that we
Yeah.
need to get out there right away.
And when you're doing that, Michael, you like these companies outsource to you, have you do
Mhm.
it. Why do they do that? Like, what's the benefit for them, and what are your deliverables that are so great that they're kind of attaching to?
Gotcha. We don't generally say outsource. So what happens is we actually partner and grow with the clients. So we
Okay.
become part of their IT departments,
Okay.
where
Okay.
when they say, listen, some clients like to handle their first calls and say and take everything in and say, you know what, I have a problem where I have a speaker that's not working. Hey guys, get out there, take a look at it, look at the cabling, look at the speaker, look at the components. Other ones might say, listen, I want you to take the first call. And that's when our MSP and our help desk come in and say, they take us the first call, we take it in, we go ahead and either dispatch or handle things remotely. And then we report back to corporate and kind of just saying, here's what happened, here's everything going on, as well as reporting. So the reason why is, as companies are trying to scale, some of our customers in companies grow anywhere from 50 to 100 locations a year,
Oh,
depending
wow.
on the year. So as they're trying to scale, trying to put on more IT resources is a very big burden.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And what we do is we keep everything into kind of intimate teams where they get to know the client, know what's going on. So you'll have an engineering resource, an account manager, and a project manager that actually get to understand how your business works, what the construction flow is, what needs to happen to either open one of these sites or even support it on the back end. And that's kind of where our help desk comes in and our support team. But the reason why a lot of people go with us is one, either they are trying to grow rapidly and they need a
Hmm.
way to do it. Two is just the support aspect of it, right?
Right.
If you got somebody out in the field, for perfect example, one of our clients is a staffing company. Uh, their job is to actually go out, get people for labor projects. Their job isn't to go back and reboot the router. It's not to go back and make sure why a camera's not working.
Yep.
So having the IT team basically call us, we handle it, we have multiple people in those areas that they're at, and we can go ahead and dispatch out pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, no, that's a great example. And how did you get started in the business? A little bit about your background.
So, try to cut a long story very short.
Yeah.
But actually, my father and I started Thai National about 22 years ago. And he was in the telecom industry since the 60s. So he actually built up a lot of resources and partnerships throughout the years.
Yeah.
In the 90s, he was running the national department for Thai Communications, which was the second largest phone system integrator in the country. When Thai Communications went out of business, they sold, got moved around and whatnot, but eventually out of business. He picked the name back up in 2003, as well as the individual locations that were Thai Communications across country, about 250 to 300. Those all got dissolved. And what happened was a lot of those managers of those locations basically had a customer base that needed services. So they all just started
Oh,
their own companies. And that was our first
oh,
set of subcontractors. So
oh.
they already knew Rich. He had relationships with them sometime 20, 30 years. We're even working with a lot of their kids nowadays that are taking over those companies. So Rich is retired now. He retired in 2017 where I took over. But we grew it basically out of a one bedroom in his house and all the way up to be national. And now we're, full remote company. We're employees in multiple states. Our customers and our technicians have grown to thousands. So,
That's great. That's great. Well, I've got to ask you, obviously, I'm no expert in your industry, but I've got to imagine that the technology involved it has advanced quite a bit over the years and is continuing to do so. I mean, I'm involved in AI automation. Those tools are just going
right.
crazy. So on your end of it, It, is that the case? Is the advancement in tech that you need to be on top of just going crazy? And how do you stay on top of things?
Well, actually, great question. Actually, it's why I love the industry. So every year and a half, it's something different, right? So
Yeah,
as technology grows and as different things happen in the industry. So for example, when we started off in 2003, we're working phone systems, running cabling, data
right.
cabling. Um, you know, Sometimes putting in a data switch, sometimes putting in a router. Today we're completely full service. So as as all of this technology advances, you're going to have the same thing that you see in any industry. You're going to have your giants that sometimes change with the time, sometimes they don't. What we
Yeah,
have to do is go out there, find the manufacturers that are either new and upcoming or are kind of embracing the new technology. Perfect example, video surveillance. So when we first got into video surveillance
oh yeah,
in 2007, we were selling small little GE and Spico systems, just little things for our franchise customers at the time. Uh,
yeah.
what we found was, and as technology grew, cloud surveillance became more of a big thing. So
Ah,
we actually got in and we partnered with a very early adopter called Eagle Eye Networks. And what we did with them was we actually helped them and gave them suggestions on how to redesign and move their product kind of to the next level. Like, here's the things that you guys are great with cloud. Here's the things you're missing on the surveillance side. So
yeah,
with that partnership, we've now taken this to our enterprise level customers. We've taken it to, you know, thousands of different franchises across the country. They're even growing more and putting more features in there. AI is a new big thing in there. So and then we also partner with other surveillance companies. But the big thing is when we're looking for partnerships, we're trying to say, okay, who's following the times and who isn't?
yep,
You know, Toshiba phone system is another perfect example. We were selling a lot of them. We made Dealer of the Year a couple years in a row just by selling small little Toshiba phone systems, 4 or 5 little handsets and whatnot. Well, Toshiba never grew. They never decided
no,
to switch their model, and they wound up completely shutting down their telecom division.
yeah. I don't
So
see it. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Yeah,
yeah, they're gone. They're gone. But before that, we've already started partnering with other companies that were doing hosted systems and whatnot, all cloud based. So putting in these little phone systems or getting a T1 and little POTS lines, like thing of the past. You'll never see it out there anymore.
well,
Uh,
yeah, no, I was gonna ask because it's so interesting because actually a college buddy of mine, his dad was the founder of Monster Cable. And
aha.
that was like a huge thing for a while, like high-end monster cable.
Mhm.
That's probably is that still around that technology or has that even moved away?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that are out there. So, what's it called? I've heard of Monster Cable. I never actually installed them, but
Yeah.
there was different things out there. There was a, like a there's and they're still out there. Your rapid runs. You have you have your high-end cabling like CommScope and things like that as well, that people really want, because it's kind of the Cadillac. But things are going Wi-Fi. Now
Yeah.
things are going
Oh
out
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and we're still doing a lot of cabling, because right now nothing beats the hard wire. And if you're talking about 50 feet or 150 feet, plugging it in kind of allows you a lot more control, a lot more stability. But eventually that's going to change.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Interesting. Um, what about the what is continues to explode is cybersecurity,
Mhm.
and I don't know how that relates to your business or how there's an overlap there, but in some of the businesses I'm involved with, there's been some major hacking.
Mhm.
FBI's gotten involved, and so we've experienced it at a very real level. But and I've seen sort of our back room with some of the technology in there, the machine. I'm like, it looks like Star Trek to me. I don't know what's going on back there. But is that do you get involved with that? Is that a thing for
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
absolutely. So our MSP product, which is a managed service provider, what we do is we get in there, we put in 0-day threat antiviruses that are able to get in there and watch for trends and automatically stop different trending, as well as we have an upgraded SOC service. So you have a full team of security advisors that watch everything, and as they get notifications, they go in, they make sure, see if it is a threat, if it isn't a threat, and handle it right in the fly. So there's a lot of things out there, and a lot of partners that we have too,
Yeah.
that we could put in place to help with that. Honestly, one of the biggest things that you find with these threats, and with uh, everything, that the biggest breaches in the world are human breaches. And that is when people are
Oh,
coming in with your phishing, they're sending
yep.
you
Yep. Yep.
emails from HR, they're sending you things that look like they're legitimate. And a lot of that just has to do with training. So
Right.
we partnered with a company called Know Before, that allows us to deliver training to our clients
Oh
of
wow.
what, you know, what does an email look like? What happens with it? And then even test those emails. So you can actually send out and say, okay, we're going to send it out, make it look like it came from IT, to click here and update your password. Well, here's what happened. This was actually a scam email. Now you have to go through this training. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's honestly weak passwords. And that's why two-factor took off so much, because you can tell everyone to change their password. When they write it and they put it on their computer screen, it doesn't help. So
No.
it's like,
No.
now give us a
No.
fingerprint. Now give us a code from your phone. That's the
Yeah.
biggest area that just like PCI compliancy, the card companies came in there and they said, listen, we could tell people to do this stuff all day, but they're not going to do it. We need to build a technology that'll help with it. So what they did was that's why we all have chips in our cards now. Those
Yeah.
chips go into the cards. They're very, very hard to forge, as well as everything's tokenized. Most of the retailers you go to, I would say probably 99% of them, they don't ever see your card data. That's all just a random string of numbers, and it's all
Mhm.
from that device all the way back to the merchant.
Yeah,
So.
interesting. Actually, this industry fascinates me because I'm always almost thinking of, important at a lot of businesses is speed time. Businesses are dealing with video, multimedia stuff. I mean, Wi-Fi, all that stuff is critically important for that.
Mhm.
Where do you see your industry going? Like, what are the trends going forward?
Well, trends going forward are obviously AI, large language models, and the ability to have what they call now tech zero support, which is people are able to sign on, ask an AI model with, hey, this is what's going on. How do I fix it? A lot of the people going into the workforce nowadays, the last thing they want to do is sit on hold. Like, honestly, like,
Yep,
getting on
yep.
the phone with somebody is just torture to them. They've grown up around this stuff. They've been around computers. They've been around phones. They sometimes just need a quick, hey, try this. Hey, do this. And then, so a lot of companies are kind of embracing that tech zero support, and that's something we're building right now. And it's going to be an option for us, where people will sign into our portal and they'll be able to say, okay, hey, I got a quick question. It'll automatically pull the data, give it back in a format they can easily digest.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Because I'm the same way. If I ask you for help with something, last thing I want you to do is send me an article, right?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
read through this
Yeah.
article.
Yeah. Horrible.
Just help me with this. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes a quick answer will be like, listen, follow these 4 steps. I hear what you're saying, follow these 4 steps. If that doesn't work, click here and we'll get a live agent on with you.
Yeah.
But my big focus with my company is always have a live agent, have someone you could talk to, have someone there. It's it's one of those things as we progress with technology, the companies that are going to do well are going to be the ones that keep the human element.
Hmm.
And I mean, we saw a lot of that when my father was involved with this in the 70s when they were doing auto attendants with robots. They did
Oh,
a they did a test, and it was an A/B test where basically people would call into the operator or whatever. The operator, it was collect calls or operators, can't remember what it was exactly, but some of them, 50% of them had robot voices. The other 50% had human voices. Not human people, but human voices as a robot.
yeah.
And what they were trying to decipher was, what do people prefer? Do you want to talk, do you want to hear a robot that sounds like a person, or is that going to irritate you because you thought you were talking to a person, you're really talking to a robot, and vice versa? They found that actually the human voice um, was more wanted and more welcoming out to the
Oh
field
yeah.
when they did that. But the same thing's gonna happen with this AI piece. It's gonna be at some point someone's gonna want to be like, listen, I'm not getting the answer I want. I need somebody to talk to. We've all
Yeah.
rapidly pushed that zero button or yelled representative on an IVR call before. So
Oh
I don't
God.
want to be.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be that company.
No, no, no. Yeah, no, it's interesting. But I imagine for those that are watching this, and we stream this everywhere,
Mhm.
LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, it's going to go out there. You have an initial sort of exploratory call, so to find out more about each
Mhm.
other. How do you do that? You get on Zoom or something?
Yeah, yeah. So we're a Microsoft Teams house, so we generally use that. And
Okay.
the call is this: we're a solutions provider. We come out here, we say we install technology. I can come out here, I could sell you. There's 5,000 different routers out there in the world. There's hundreds of different phone systems. We come in and we say, what's your pain point? What are you trying to solve? And that's where we start. We learn a lot about their business. We learn about what they're trying to solve or what they're trying to accomplish, and then we partner with them. Honestly, most of our customers have been around us for 5+ years. Some of our best customers started with one camera in one location. I just want you to install the cameras. I need somebody who has techs everywhere. I just want that. And then, do that a couple times. You come in and you say, I was sitting down with them actually, with them and my vice president. We were at their offices and I said, what do you guys do for your internet circuits? Like, how are you managing them? Like, oh, we get all the invoices and we put it on a spreadsheet. We do all of this stuff. I'm like, we have a partner that not only will do that for you, but will also, we can combine it down to one bill. We could do X, Y, and Z with it. They're like, oh, that'd be great. Went from
Yeah.
that, and then also showing them like, hey, we noticed that there was a problem, and we showed them pictures of one of their setups, and they used to fly people out, do all their setups
Yeah.
for their back room. And we said, listen, let us clean this up for you. Well, this is how much time it'll take. Let us just do a quick cleanup. Did a cleanup, showed them the pictures afterwards. They said, listen, can you do that everywhere? Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So it's those types of relationships. How do we
Right.
solve pain points? And there might be some pain points where people don't know that, hey, if I do it this way, yeah, I'm doing it myself. Like let's say this IT person, I'm doing it myself, so I'm saving money. Well, you're not really saving money. You're out 3 days out of that week. You're not answering calls. You could be helping 15 people the same time you're plugging in a router at a location.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's our goal. Our goal is to really just be a provider, be a solutions provider, be there to help people out and get their businesses going. The more they grow, the more we grow. So,
Yeah, no, well said. Love it.
mhm.
Well, this is great. Want to thank you for coming on, and thanks everybody for watching this. And I just say get connected to Michael wherever you're watching
Mhm.
this. Maybe it's up here, down here. We're gonna have your information around there, Michael. But great stuff. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.